Okay, nothing heard. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0100 Zulu, to discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to the amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. Counts as part of their outreach to the general public, of which we are a part. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. I take check-ins several ways. If you happen to have a net logger, I take check-ins via the AIM window when I see your call sign pop up over there. I'm running just a few minutes late, so I do apologize for that. Also, we are live on YouTube tonight as well. So for those of you who are on YouTube, if you could, if you have a call sign, definitely post that over there, and I can get you logged in. If you don't have a call sign over on YouTube, then I would appreciate a name and a location in the chat window. Or if you do have a call sign, you probably have some strange YouTube ID, such as myself. But just post your call sign there, just like several of them already did, and I'll definitely get you checked in that way. I also take them over the air, which I will do momentarily as well, and I take them via email. If you can't check in any other way and are out there listening, my email is ki0ar@ki0ar.com. Just put in the email that's your name, call sign, location. If you don't have a call sign, that's fine too. Name and location at a minimum there. And I'll get you on the list. Oh, right now I'm going to let the repeater reset and get some call signs logged in while they are popping up. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
KF0MY units, kilowatt, Fox 0, Mike Yankee Uniform, in and out. November Alpha 4, Bravo Lima. November Alpha 4, Bravo Lima. Coming from southwestern Virginia. His name is Mike. This is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, KD8SLG, Macon, Ohio. I'll be in and out tonight. Juliet, J-A-H-L-Y-J. Bob, also in Ohio, also in and out tonight.
All right, let's pause there. I'm still trying to get the YouTubers and my net loggers recorded. If your call sign is new, I still want to talk to you guys that are in and out. I always like to touch base with new call signs. I'll have to run them through my database to see if you are new and welcome you properly to the Colorado Astronomy Net. I like to do that. I like to find out a little bit about your background and interest in astronomy as well. So I know that, so I can figure out who's new to the hobby, or if I've got some experienced helpers out there that can back me up if I ever make a mistake, which I do occasionally for sure. But this is a learning net. rather than just a check-in net. And a participatory net as well, because we do have part of the session at the end where I do open it up for questions and comments and anything that observation reports. Love to hear observation reports from the different parts of the U.S. and the world for that matter. And maybe you guys have something for someone that's down under or something like that. So who knows? But definitely, I do definitely want to touch base with my new tech ends for sure. So if you are new, I'll find that out in just a sec. But I definitely want everybody to participate. So give me a minute before I take check-ins over the air, but I definitely appreciate you guys giving me your call signs phonetically twice. That's the way I like to do that. I'm just going to keep on yakking so nobody else will check in. That's an easy way to do it. Just some quick background on the net for those of you who are new. I'll let this thing reset and tell you about that while I get some more check-ins in here. Okay, I'll acknowledge everybody's call in just a minute. Let's see. There we go. A little bit about the net. I've been doing the net for 30 years and learning something new every time, just about. And I do appreciate everybody checking in tonight. Got a good turnout already. So it's going to take me a little while just to acknowledge all you guys. So let's see. Oh, what's okay. All right, let's see. I'm trying to copy and paste here. All right, let's see. I've got to go ahead and acknowledge all the calls I have already. AI7J, AI7OF, thanks for checking in tonight. John, W2JLS, thanks for checking in tonight. Rip, K3XO, thanks for checking in tonight. Daniel, KF0MYU, thanks for checking in tonight. Michael, NA4BL, thanks for checking in tonight. Nick, KD8SLG, thanks for checking in tonight. Robert, KA8LYJ, thanks for checking in tonight. We got a shortwave listener over on NetLogger that's checked in. If you can post in the in the AIM window over on NetLogger, definitely like to get your name and location. You can post that over there. That would be great. Ed, W6RDZ, thanks for checking in tonight. Thomas, KA8MNT, thanks for checking in tonight. Doug, K0ATP, thanks for checking in tonight. Moy, N5ZIQ, thanks for checking in tonight. John, K9GRN, thanks for checking in tonight. John, VK3HJQ, thanks for checking in tonight. John, KJ7AGQ, thanks for checking in tonight. Mike, KO5AOK, thanks for checking in tonight. Charles, KQ4RBI, thanks for checking in tonight. And John KF0TDK, thanks for checking in tonight. So I do appreciate all of the check-ins for this evening. So I don't have no idea who's new yet. Yeah, okay. Okay, bunch of new calls on this list. NA4BL, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. KA8MNT, welcome to the net. KQ4RBI over on YouTube, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net tonight. And we got KR4MLJ, our SWL check in. So thanks for thanks for posting that over in NetLogger there, Patrick, and welcome to the net. Let's see. All right, Michael in Virginia, NA4BL in Lynchburg. Actually, my brother's in Lynchburg, but he's not in. He's not on ham radio. I grew up in Richmond myself. Michael, NA4BL, welcome to the net. Tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for running the net. The majority of my interest in astronomy comes from my photography. I love to take long exposures, nighttime long exposures, as well as photos of the Milky Way. Problem is, of course, growing up in Richmond, you probably know this as well as I do. Virginia is so light polluted, so you have to get up in the Shenandoah National Park or even well into West Virginia before you get any really decent dark sky. And I'm looking at the night sky. I can't tell you a whole lot about it. I just enjoy learning. And as you mentioned, this is my first check-in to this event. And I just figure I can listen and learn. Anyway, thank you for welcoming me to the dialogue. And they deal back to you, that control.
All right, Michael. Yeah, I used to run the observatory at Virginia Tech many decades ago when I went there. And yeah, old stomping grounds for sure up there. Up there for sure. So yeah, I know the skies are just getting definitely polluted with all kinds of light nowadays. But we do have some astrophotographers on here as well. So listen out for them for sure. He hasn't checked in yet. A couple of them haven't checked in yet, but well, actually, Rip has. You may want to check out his images he's done in a while. So Again, welcome. Let's see who else. La, 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 la. KA8MNT checked in via NetLogger. Thomas, that's a new call on the list, so welcome. Tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, sir. This is the MMT, and my interest goes back a lot of years, especially when you saw the first launches into space, and that kind of intrigued myself and my brother. And we both got telescopes, important, and then we got what I guess that was the Colorado refracting telescope. We can see a little more. And I've always been intrigued by it, but I'm not constant. I keep looking for, I hear that Mars is going to be around or Jupiter or whatever that. I always make sure I get out there on the track cloudy and get out there and look at everything. But my most best experiences was unfortunately during the Persian Gulf. And we were different out in the middle of the desert when there was no lanes or anything from cities or cars or anything out there. And this was just pepper. And it was beautiful. And that's what I'm so intrigued by it. I don't chase after all the time, but I like hearing about it and that kind of thing. So with that, just give me an MNT, I'll return everything back over to the control, and video you know.
All right, Thomas. Yeah, fine business there. Yep. Appreciate you checking in tonight, and we'll pass that information along. So hopefully you guys, hopefully everybody that's new here can definitely stick around. I actually want everybody to stick around for this evening. Let's see, our shortwave listener was Patrick KR4MLJ. Two new ones over on YouTube. John, let's see, no, yes, Charles KQ4RBI over on YouTube. Welcome. Welcome to the net tonight. I do appreciate that. If you can post over there on YouTube what's your interest background in astronomy, whether just starting out or been doing it for decades or somewhere in between, what your interest might be. I'll pass that along to the net as well. And Mary, we got you on the list too, VE3AOA. Thanks for checking in tonight. And we got Mike. KL7FR, thanks for checking in tonight. Right now, anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
WA7GVL, WA7GVL, Cedar City, Utah, and NetLogger for some reason is not logging me in. Kilo Lima. Kilo Foxtrot 0 Whiskey X-Ray Echo. Kilo Foxtrot 0 Whiskey X-Ray Echo. Kilo Charlie. Kilo Papa. Brian Shelby Line. How does it get out? KE2 GSM.
Okay, Brian, stand by. I missed your call. Apologize for that. But let's see, Paul, I got you on the list. WA7GVL. Yeah, I saw it pop on and off line there, so I do appreciate you coming over the air for sure. And Roy, we got you on the list, KI7PKL. Thanks for checking in tonight. And let's see. There we go. Daniel, KF0WXE, thanks for checking in tonight. That's a new call on the list, so welcome. I'm going to touch base with you in just a sec. Brian, you gave me your call, but unfortunately, I missed it. If you could give me your call again, I'll get you on the list. Thanks.
Kilo, Charlie, Kilo, Papa, Brian, and Shelby, Ohio. And I'll just be in and out. I don't have much. South United One, Share Hotel. South United One, Share Hotel.
Okay, let's see. All right, we're getting some DX tonight on the net. Let's see. Daniel, KF0WXE. Yeah, okay, stand by. Brian, KC8. YKP, we got you on the list, so welcome to the net tonight. We take all levels of experience, and I love the people that are just starting out, just wondering what's up in the skies, or have questions about space or rockets or what have you. It is a learning net, and we have influenced quite a few people on here to encourage them to get their licenses or get telescopes and learn the night skies. And maybe it's a bad influence. I don't know. Maybe a bad influence for spending money or something like that. But getting their licenses, getting telescopes, and sharing it with their kids and families and things like that. So. I definitely like to be that kind of bad influence. Gordon, that's a new call on the list. KE2GSM, I do believe, up in New York. So thanks for that. And who else? Boy, got a lot of new people. Dave, KG6GIA, thanks for checking in tonight. And I do believe, was that Delta Uniform 1 Sierra Hotel for the DX station there? Is that correct? If you could give me a confirmation or a correction, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, my friend, for putting me in. My call sign is Delta United One Share Hotel from Manila, Philippines. Thank you very much. 73 over.
All right, Sony. Yeah, DU1SH. Yeah, it popped right up on NetLogger there. So I do appreciate you checking in. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. I got 5 new calls on the list, and I like to touch base with each and every one of you and find out a little bit about your background interest in astronomy is. If you're just starting out, or you've been doing it for decades, if you like astrophotography or just looking up at the skies, it could be that quick. Daniel, KF0WXE, Tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is KS0WAC, Daniel. I'm in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. I was like the rockets kind of thing, and ended up kind of building my own rocket motors out of sugar and some like makeshift saltpeter kind of stuff. Really dangerous, wouldn't recommend it. But I bought a telescope and have been looking up into the sky trying to see Saturn and all the planets. And I remember the first time I saw Saturn clearly in a telescope, and I'll never forget it. And every time I'm out at night, I start stare at it for hours. So that's my fascination with it. I enjoy following all the space programs, and yeah, it's pretty cool to be here, and I appreciate your recognition. And this is KS0WXE, thanks, Net.
All right, Daniel, yeah, I'm in Highlands Ranch as well, so maybe we'll have to do an eyeball QSO sometime and get together for sure. Maybe do a star night or something, who knows. Brian, KC8, YKP, same question, your interest, background in astronomy. Go ahead, please. Gordon, KE2 GSM, welcome to the net. Same question for you, your interest, background in astronomy. Please go ahead. Dave in California, KG6GIA. Welcome to the net. Tell us a little bit about your background, interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
KG6GIA, returning. Well, college work, we did astronomy classes and that related to overall cosmology studies, and then specified in geology, astrogeology, and actually collected a few meteorites. Later, when I became a ham, I went into radio astronomy because we got just too many lights down here in Southern California, and the weather on the coast is garbage for optical. But I do have a few homemade deep sky cameras. If I get far enough out to the northeast desert toward the Grand Canyon, I can set them up about a 2-hour drive or so from the QTH and get some fairly good winter pictures of the giant clouds and most of the obvious optical Milky Way shows up pretty good out there. But as far as getting into a real detailed image of the system, I don't have any tracking systems I can put on the cameras. I can do like, let's say 15 to 30-minute exposures reset. 6GI Dave returning. For the radio astronomy equipment, I collected and built some microwave you can listen to the solar bombardment during the aurora borealis. So I'm pretty happy with that one because I can use it almost any time. Back over to you, KG6GIA.
All right, Dave. Looks like I may lean on you a little bit for some of that radio astronomy experience for sure. And yeah, check out. We got Roy. Roy is one of our um, astrophotographers on here as well. So check that out. Let's see, Bob KA8LYJ posted over on NetLogger. Watched the Apollo landings as a kid, loved sci-fi. Took some astronomy in college. Uh, sounds like me. Do appreciate you linking up. Yeah, you betcha. And spending out there at Lowry, yeah, you betcha. So thanks for that, Bob. And we'll go down to this is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net, running kind of late. Usually we're well past the announcements and the local astronomical news by now, but we got so many new people on the net. That's just fantastic. So I do appreciate that. Sony in the Philippines, DU1SH. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Tell us a little bit about astronomy in the Philippines. What are you interested in starting out, learning, or can you teach us some stuff about that? Welcome. Please go ahead. We'll try again. DU1SH. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Please share with us what your interest, background in astronomy. Go ahead. All right, let's get this net started. I'm already about a half an hour late. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I think that's been my mantra for the whole week. I'm a little bit late. Announcements. I do publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of my newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list, or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the web page is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the web page and the newsletter. I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out in Strasburg, Colorado on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high-power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full-scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. More than welcome to visit our website at iaas.org for more information. They also have a presence on Facebook under the same name, the International Association for Astronomical Studies. They also have a call sign, K0AAS. So if you happen to hear that call sign on the air, be sure to give them a shout and say, hey. on Mondays and Wednesdays, for those of you who may be interested in flight simming, you may want to check out Jack KE0VH's YouTube channel, Captain Jack Flight Sim. CapnJackFlitSim, Captain Jack Flight Sim, on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time until whenever he decides to land. Great flights. Always interesting to watch the sims. It's almost like being in the cockpit as far as that's concerned. So definitely check that out. That's it for the announcements for this evening. Please hold all call signs until later. I will get those, get the call signs, but definitely listen in. If you have NetLogger, I will see you pop up and get you logged in. Or if you have YouTube, I'll see you log in over there as well and get you checked in. And in fact, we do have a YouTuber checking in, K7VWP. Okay, yeah, Mike, thanks for checking in tonight over on YouTube. Let's see. This newsletter for the beginning of the month is always a little trial balloon. So I won't, hopefully I'll get, always looking for typos or corrections before I actually publish it. Running a little bit late this, running a little bit late um, this month. Just too much going on here at home. The last week, actually the last 2 months, just life happens for sure. So please bear with me as I work through my life at this point. I'll start off as usual with the phases of the moon. We just had a full moon on the 31st of May. We got a last quarter moon on the 8th, got a new moon coming up on the 14th, first quarter moon on the 21st, and a full moon on the 29th. The moon will be at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth this month, was at apogee on the 1st, 252,504 miles from Earth. The moon will be at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth this month, on the 14th. It will be 221,952 miles from Earth. And the moon will be at apogee again on the 28th. It will be at 252,444 miles from Earth, just a tad closer than the first apogee. The significance of these apogees and perigees is, if you'll note, that perigee is on the 14th, which is at the same time that the new moon is. If that particular full new moon happened to coincide with the sun and become an eclipse, that moon would have created one of the longer solar eclipses, but because the moon is slightly off and not quite aligned with the solar path through the skies, we don't see those eclipses. So when the moon is at perigee and the sun and the moon, the moon does eclipse the sun, we would have had a nice, very long total solar eclipse. And the same kind of thing goes when the moon is at apogee and crosses the sun's path. Then we see what is called an annular eclipse, where the moon does not quite cover the solar eclipse. We're going to have a pretty darned long solar eclipse next year, next August 2027, all visible over the pyramids of Egypt. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll see if I can make it. That would be neat. That's one reason I do give apogees and perigees, just because of that. And well, we'll see what happens. Planetary highlights for June. Mercury reaches greatest elongation in the evening sky this month, meaning that it's going to be as high as it's going to get in the western sky for the month. So it's actually going to be a little bit easier to spot, even though it is very difficult to spot, but it'll be a little easier this month. Venus and Jupiter have a spectacular conjunction, and later in the month, the moon occults Venus. Meanwhile, Jupiter drops deeper into twilight as it sinks toward next month's conjunction with the sun. The morning sky hosts ever more prominent Saturn, while Mars and Uranus meet Taurus. Excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, June 2026, page 26. And that was without the ad-libs. On with the planets. We got Mercury will be at greatest eastern elongation, about 25 degrees east of the sun on the 15th. That means it's going to be as high as it's going to get in the western sky on the 15th. And fairly high up. So it'll be... It's off just a little bit on the angle, but it's still be 25 degrees of trailing the sun in the middle of June is nearly directly above it, so directly above the western horizon. So very good positioning for Mercury this month. Mercury will be stationary on the 28th, meaning that it moved neither forward nor backward relative to the background stars at that time. Mercury sets at 9:59 p.m. on the 1st and about 9:15 p.m. by month's end. Mercury is visible in the western sky about 30 minutes after sunset. Mercury is in the constellation of Gemini, shining at magnitude 0.5 on the 15th. So Mercury will be fairly bright. You may have to see a little tiny dot with a pair of binoculars and then point your telescope towards it, and then you may see Mercury in phase. Quick tutorial on magnitudes. The magnitude scale is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as the magnitudes increase, the apparent brightness of an object decreases by a factor of about 2.5. The dimmest object that the human eye can see under optimal dark sky conditions is about 6th magnitude. A magnitude 5 object is 2.5 times brighter than a magnitude 6 object, while a magnitude 7 object is 2.5 times dimmer. And you'll definitely need binoculars or a telescope to spot those. But nonetheless, point those telescopes and binoculars at these bright objects as well. You'll pull out the detail, and they're a lot easier to spot with the naked eye, and you can find them a little bit easier as well. And the way that also that the magnitude scale is designed is for every 5 magnitudes, it is a decrease or an increase of a factor of about 100 in brightness. Venus sets about 11:02 p.m. on the 1st and about 10:55 p.m. by month's end. Look for Venus to the west about 30 minutes after sunset. Venus moves from the constellation of Gemini into Leo, shining at magnitude minus 4.0. So it's going to be the brightest object in the sky besides the sun and the moon. For the Earth, the summer solstice occurs at 4:25 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the 21st. So that will be our first day of summer for the Northern Hemisphere. The winter time in the Southern Hemisphere actually starts June 1st. They do their summers and winters just slightly different than those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing, Mars rises at 4 a.m. on the 1st and about 3:07 a.m. by month's end. Look for Mars to the east in the morning, about 30 minutes before sunrise. Mars moves from the constellation of Aries into Taurus, shining at magnitude 1.3. We got Jupiter setting about 11:22 p.m. on the 1st and about 9:45 p.m. by month's end. By the time the sun sets, Jupiter is in the southwestern sky, rapidly approaching the horizon. Jupiter moves from the constellation of Gemini into Cancer, shining at magnitude minus 1.8. And we got Saturn rising about 2:57 a.m. on the 1st and about 1:04 a.m. by month's end. Look for Saturn towards the southeast in the early morning sky before sunrise. Saturn is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 0.8. Then we got Uranus. Uranus rises at 5:05 a.m. on the 1st and about 3:13 a.m. by month's end. Look for Uranus to the east in the morning before sunrise. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.8. And then we have Neptune rising about 2:33 a.m. on the 1st and about 12:36 a.m. by month's end. Look for Neptune towards the southeast in the morning sky before sunrise. It's actually fairly close, trailing, leading Saturn by not quite a half an hour, but so it's leading Saturn by a little bit there. Look for Neptune towards the southeast in the morning sky before sunrise. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.8. For our dwarf planets, we have Ceres rising about 5:17 a.m. on the 1st and about 3:59 a.m. by month's end. Ceres can be spotted low to the east in the morning sky before sunrise. Ceres is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 8.9. We got Pluto. Pluto will be returning to the evening sky later in the month. Pluto rises at 12:13 a.m. on the 1st and about 10:10 p.m. by month's end. Pluto can be spotted to the south before sunrise. That's when it is highest in the sky. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricornus, shining at magnitude 15.1. As always, good luck at spotting Neptune, Ceres, and Pluto. A large telescope and dark skies will be needed. Oh, we do have some interesting meteor showers in June. Not so much in the evening, but several daytime meteor showers that you guys might be interested in, especially if you want to try meteor scatter communications, or at least meteor scatter reception with your radios. The first, the Orionids meteor showers. This is the strongest daylight meteor shower of the year. The duration extends from May 22nd to July 2nd, with a maximum activity occurring on June 8th. The hourly rate is near 60 at maximum. The June Lyrids. This shower is active during June 10th to 21st, producing predominantly blue and white meteors at a maximum hourly rate of 8 per hour on June 15th. The average magnitude of this shower is near 3, while 32% of the meteors leave trains. And that one is optimum for this year since we got a new moon on the 14th. So the moon will not interfere with viewing any of the June lyrids, especially anytime between midnight and dawn on the 15th. We got the Zeta Perseids. This daylight shower occurs during May 20th to July 5th. Maximum occurs on June 13th. Radar surveys have revealed the activity of this shower to be near 40 per hour. Then we have the June Bootids. This shower is currently active during June 27th to July 5th. It possesses a maximum of activity that falls on the 28th. The shower is notable in that its meteors are predominantly faint with an average magnitude near 5. However, bright meteors do occur regularly. So this is another nighttime meteor shower for the month. So that's towards the end. Unfortunately, the full moon may wash out most, if not all, of those dim meteors for that one. We do have a comet. Comet 10P Temple, or Temple 2, is shining around 8th to 7th magnitude. It may brighten that much, passing through the constellation of Aquila the Eagle into Aquarius. So you may want to see if you can find that. And there's some interesting deep sky objects in that area as well. Best time to spot that is when is that going to be spotted? I'm going to have to look that up and get some more information on that, so I do apologize. But let's see, it's between the Saturn Nebula and M72 by the end of the month. Unfortunately, the full moon will be in that very area towards the end of the month. So so definitely have to try to catch that in the evening and during mid-month. So check that out. And that is it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay, a couple more check-ins. We got Eric over on YouTube. W2HAZ, thanks for checking in tonight. And we got Ken, NV7SS, checking in tonight. So thanks for that. A quick pause for check-ins. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo Fox 0, Whiskey Romeo X-ray. Kilo Fox 0, Whiskey Romeo X-ray.
All right. Good evening to you, Trevor. KF0WRX, thanks for checking in tonight. I'll go ahead and get into the bulletins for this evening. Let me pull up ISS passes. I just posted the ISS passes over on YouTube there. Unfortunately, there are no visible ISS passes over the Denver area in the next 10 days. The information is coming from heavens-above.com. I do recommend you guys sign up for that, put in your home coordinates, and see when the ISS is passing over, visible passes over your area. This actually does give all the passes over your particular area. The one thing I like about this particular site is if I click on a particular pass, I can see a nice star chart of the pass. And unfortunately, what I've got displayed over on YouTube is the ISS passing through the daylight sky. So I will go back a week and see what I had and show that a little bit different. There we go. There we go. We got a nice pass that occurred about 10 days ago, but you can see that it shows a nice path of the ISS through the evening sky and what constellations and stars that it passes through. And you can print this particular star chart out, take that outside and not have to worry about dropping it on the ground, losing it, what have you, or breaking like a cell phone or something like that if you get too wrapped up with watching the ISS pass across your skies. Again, that website, heavens-above.com. I do recommend you sign up for that and put in your home coordinates and print that out if you happen to be interested in ISS passes. I do have a quick bulletin for this evening. It's actually interesting mission. Just a second. I'll let this thing reset and then get back to it. This is KI0 Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Got a quick bulletin for you from JPL. NASA's Psyche mission aces Mars flyby, targets metal-rich asteroid. This is dated May 19th. The successful flyby of Mars on May 15th provided the mission team with a valuable practice run ahead of the spacecraft's arrival at the mysterious asteroid Psyche in 2029. NASA's Psyche spacecraft completed its close approach to Mars on May 15th, coming within 2,864 miles of the planet's surface. This flyby used a gravity assist from Mars to provide a critical boost in speed and to adjust the spacecraft's orbital plane without using any onboard propellant, sending it on its way toward the metal-rich asteroid Psyche. The spacecraft is now headed directly toward the asteroid, located in the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. After the Mars flyby, the flight team analyzed radio signals between the spacecraft and Mars's Deep Space Network, or DSN, the agency's global system for communicating with interplanetary spacecraft, to confirm that Psyche was on the correct trajectory. Although we were confident in our calculations and flight plan, monitoring the DSN's Doppler signal in real time during the flyby was still exciting, said Don Hahn, Psyche's navigation lead at Jet NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California. We've confirmed that Mars gave the spacecraft a 1,000 mile per hour boost and shifted its orbital plane by about 1 degree relative to the Sun. We are now on course for arrival at the asteroid Psyche in the summer of 2029. A unique Martian view in the days running up to and during during close approach. All of Psyche's instruments were powered up for calibration efforts, including its imagers, magnetometers, and gamma ray and neutron spectrometer. The planetary encounter provided the mission a valuable practice run for when it reaches the asteroid Psyche. As a bonus, it captured Mars images from a rare perspective. Because Psyche approached Mars from a high phase angle, the planet appeared as a thin crescent in the days running up to the close approach, lit by sunlight reflecting off its surface. In observations from the spacecraft's multispectral imager, the crescent appeared brighter and extended farther around the planet's disk than anticipated because of the strong scattering of sunlight through the planet's dusty atmosphere. As Psyche passed from Mars' nighttime skies to daytime, it took a rapid series of pictures of the surface around the time of closest approach. We've captured thousands of images of the approach to Mars and of the planet's surface and atmosphere at close approach. This data set provides unique and important opportunities for us to calibrate and characterize the performance of the cameras, as well as test the early versions of our image processing tools being developed for use at the asteroid Psyche, said Jim Bell, the Psyche Imager Instrument Lead at Arizona State University in Tempe. As the spacecraft continues its journey after the flyby, we'll continue calibration imaging of Mars for the rest of the month as it recedes into the distance. Bell also leads the Mastcam-Z imaging investigation on NASA's Perseverance Mars rover team, which was among several missions that provided complementary surface and atmospheric imaging as well as navigation data during the flyby to help with calibration efforts. Other missions involved includes NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, 2001 Mars Odyssey Orbiter, and Curiosity rover, along with ESA's, or the European Space Agency's, Mars Express and ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter. In addition to the imagery, early calibration measurements made by Psyche's magnetometers may have detected Mars bow shock as the spacecraft passed the planet. The gamma ray and neutron spectrometer team was also quickly gathering data to calibrate the instrument by comparing their instruments with a large pool of existing Mars data. Onward to asteroid Psyche. With Mars in the rearview mirror, the spacecraft will soon resume using its solar electric propulsion system to make a beeline to the main asteroid belt. When it arrives in August 2029, it will insert itself into orbit around the asteroid Psyche, which is thought to be the partial core of a planetesimal, a building block of an early planet. Those series of circular orbits that go lower and then higher in orbit around Psyche, which is about 173 miles or 280 kilometers across. At its widest point, the spacecraft will map the asteroid and gather science data. If the asteroid proves to be the metallic core of an ancient planetesimal, it could offer a one-of-a-kind window into the interior of rocky planets like Earth. We've been anticipating the Mars flyby for years, but now it's complete. We can thank the Red Planet for giving our spacecraft a critical gravitational slingshot farther into the solar system, said Lindy Elkins-Tanton, principal investigator for Psyche at the University of California, Berkeley. Onward to the asteroid Psyche. More about Psyche. The Psyche mission is led by ASU, a division of Caltech in Pasadena, California. JPL is responsible for the mission's overall management, system engineering, integration and test, and mission operations. Intuitive Machines in Palo Alto, California provided the high-power solar electric propulsion spacecraft chassis. The operations of the Imager instrument are led by ASU. Collaborating with Malin Space Science Systems in San Diego on the design, fabrication, and testing of the cameras. Psyche is the 14th mission selected as part of NASA's Discovery program, managed by the agency's Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama. NASA's Launch Services program, based at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, managed the launch services. For more information about NASA's Psyche mission, visit https://science.nasa.gov/mission/psyche/ and that's it for the bulletins for this evening. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and call on Ed, W6RDZ, for this evening's rocket report. Good evening to you, Ed. Are you ready to give the rocket report? Go ahead.
Good evening, Burgess, and good evening to the net. This is W6RDZ with tonight's rocket report. Can you give me an audio check? Back to you, Burgess.
Ed, you are a solid copy tonight, so go ahead with the rocket report. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
Good evening again, Burgess. W6RDZ here with tonight's rocket report. Last week we witnessed 5 orbital launches. The first was on May 29th at 06:57 Mountain Daylight Time. SpaceX successfully launched Starlink Group 1053 out of Flight 40 Cape Canaveral. 29 Starlink B2 minis went to low Earth orbit. On booster 1085, 16th flight, it was the 640th successful Falcon 9 launch, second launch of the week, also on Friday. That was United Launch Alliance, or ULA. They successfully launched the Amazon Leo LA-07 mission from Slick 41, Cape Canaveral, on the venerable Atlas V rocket in the 551 configuration. 5-meter diameter payload fairing with 5 solid rocket boosters and 1 engine in the Centaur upper stage. 29 Amazon Leo, also known as Kuiper, internet satellite joined the constellation in low Earth orbit. It was the 108th successful launch of a Atlas V mission. Third launch, Saturday, May 30th. SpaceX launched Starlink Group 17-41 from Slick 4E Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. 24 Starlinks went to 82's 22nd flight will reset the repeaters. Fourth flight of the week, also Saturday, May 30th, rocket from the Jichang Satellite Launch Center in China. 4 technology demonstrator satellites joined the Chinese SatNet constellation. This was the 125th orbital launch attempt of 2026. Moving ahead to the 5th launch, Monday, June 1st at 0240 Mountain Daylight Time, China Aerospace and Science Corporation successfully launched a surprise demo flight of Sail Polar Route number 2 mission on the first test launch of a new Long March 12B rocket. The new rocket launched from the Dongfeng Commercial Zone at the Jiquan Satellite Launch Center in the Gobi Desert. The Test 5 flight successfully placed 2 operational space scale Quasar communication satellites into polar low Earth orbit. The Long March 12B is a Falcon 9 inspired rocket that's intended for booster landing and still attempt at landing the booster on this test flight. Oh, that brings us up to the big news of the week. Yes, a week ago, last week, we were looking forward to today to the returns to flight of Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket will reset the review. This is W6REZ back with the rocket report for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Yeah, the FAA is just given a return to flight approval to Blue Origin following root cause failure analysis and corrective action of the New Glenn Flight 3 upper stage failure. However, the New Glenn rocket was on the launch pad at 39A Cape Canaveral, Florida, partially starting the final static fire test prior to launch when it exploded. On Thursday, May 28th, approximately 1900 Mountain Daylight Time, immediately after the engine ignition on the test, the rocket, the water deluge started, the 7BE4 engines ignited, flames spewed from the base of the rocket, the upper stage split, and a fireball started, and then the booster just detonated. A huge shockwave launched a giant fireball ascending in a flaming mushroom cloud that rose over the Space Coast. The New Glenn rocket and Blue Origin's only launch pad were destroyed. Of course, the pad was evacuated for the test, so there were no injuries. In a statement, Blue Origin acknowledged that their rocket had, quote, experienced an anomaly, end quote, during the hot fire test. This is one of the biggest man-made chemical explosions to date. It's believed to be since the Soviet N-1 moon rocket exploded in 1969. We will reset the review. W6REZ back with the rocket report discussing the explosion of the New Glenn rocket. Yeah, it's comparable to the N1 explosion. It registered a 2.0 on the Richter scale. New Glenn is not a small rocket. It's about the size of a Saturn V. The anomaly will result in millions of dollars of damage and a major setback for NASA and Blue Origin. This will impact the Artemis program as it will delay Blue Origin's Blue Moon lunar landers development and testing. It will delay Blue Origin's LEO broadband satellite constellation rollout. After surveying the damage, Blue Origin now vows New Glenn will fly before the RDZ, back with the rocket report talking about the Shenzhou spacecraft and crew naming systems. Okay, so Shenzhou 21 astronauts came back on the Shenzhou 21 spacecraft. The Shenzhou 20 astronauts returned in Shenzhou 21 rescue spacecraft after Shenzhou 20 spacecraft's windshield was cracked in orbit by space debris. This is the reason for the one-digit offset now between crew number and spacecraft number. All right. We've got about 6 launches on the docket for next week. 1 through 3, we've got 3 SpaceX Falcon 9 launches scheduled for next week. On Wednesday, Group 1031 launches from Cape Canaveral. Later Wednesday, Group 17-49 should launch from Vandenberg. And on Sunday, Group 1035 launches from Cape Canaveral. 4th launch, we'll call there on June 4th. China Aerospace and Science Corporation plans to launch a Long March 6A with an undisclosed payload from Taiwan Satellite Launch Center, China. CASIC also plans to launch a Long March 8 with an undisclosed payload on Friday from Wenchang. 6th from last week to Sunday, June 7th, South Korea plans again to launch a demo flight of their new ATG solid fuel small launch vehicle from Jeju. All right, we will reset our repeaters here. This is W6RTZ, back with the rocket report for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We just talked about the South Korean launch on Sunday. On Tuesday, June 9th, China rocket plans a Geelong-3 launch from the offshore Haiyang orbital spaceport with an undisclosed payload. And finally, also next Tuesday, around the start of the net, Japan is planning an H3-30 test rocket launch from the Tanegashima Space Center in Japan. This is a test flight of the H3-3 variant, the H3 launch vehicle, with 3 LE-9 engines in the first stage and no solid rocket boosters. 1 payload will be the STARS X mission to demonstrate debris capture using a space cover. Additionally, the launch will carry a mass simulator and 5 other small satellites. All right, that's it for tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net's rocket report. This is W6RDZ Rocket Man Ed wishing you a good night and nominal flight. Now, back to Starman Sun. It's KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
Okay, thanks for that. Thanks for that, Ed. I have posted a link to the rocket report in the AIM window on NetLogger, as well as over there on YouTube. Check out those links for oh, what was it there? Excuse me. Yeah, I gotta look at it. A bunch of links on the Blue Origin explosion for sure. Definitely cool, but not so cool. So take a look at that. We got Zach over on YouTube, Aviation Geek. Thanks for checking in tonight. Who else do we got? We got Alex Hedry. Thanks for that, and welcome to the night. I think that's new on the list. If you've got a call sign, that would be great. If not, a first name and a location for sure, just to make sure got that right, because I like to record everybody checking in, and definitely be sure to be sure to hit that like button over there on the YouTube, and subscribe if you haven't already. Um, but definitely appreciate that, and appreciate the YouTubers checking in for sure. Um, right now, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll take a few check-ins before we go down the list. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Foxtrot Sierra, Quebec. KF8, FSQ. Kilo Foxtrot 8, Foxtrot Sierra, Quebec. Fred in Michigan.
Okay, Fred, we got you on the list. KF8FSQ, thanks for checking in tonight. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Now is the time for everyone else to contribute to the net. We've got a long list tonight, so I'm going to go fairly rapidly. So please follow along on NetLogger or YouTube or wherever. Follow along on NetLogger as I go down the list, because I'm going to kind of rapid fire tonight. So I'll give you a few seconds to reply, and then we're going to move along. But I will open up the net. If I do happen to skip over you, I will come back and open up the net for anybody, any last minute questions or comments if I happen to miss you. So I do apologize for that ahead of time. All right. Questions, comments, observation reports, anything you'd like to pass along to the net, now's the time to do it. First on the list tonight is Jay up in Wyoming, AI7OF. Good evening to you, Jay. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
KI0, AR, KI7OF. I just have to wonder what your thoughts are on the meteor over the northeast that happened and showed up on Joe's satellite, and it showed up on seismic data. A meteor that showed up over New Jersey or whatever. Back to that AI7OF.
All right, Jay, I have not seen news on that. I've been busy, busier than all get out for the last week and a half. And there doesn't seem to be any let up for this week, other than generalities. We do get meteors coming through and hitting the atmosphere every now and then. And this may have been a fairly good sized one, especially if they got seismic readings, more than likely from the sonic boom as it passed over parts of the northeastern U.S. there, for sure. But yeah, if the GOES satellite was bright enough for that satellite to pick it up, definitely an impressive event. Obviously not large enough to make it to the ground, but there may have, depending on which way it was traveling, there may be some particles that hit the ground out there. Maybe not if it was so I'm not exactly sure. I haven't seen any reports on it, so I don't know exactly which direction it was headed, whether it was headed inland or out to sea. If it was out to sea, we're not going to find too much, but most of those things do disintegrate in the sky before they hit the earth. So maybe we dodged a bullet, so to speak, there, Jay.
Yeah, back to that. As far as I know, it was heading north over New Jersey, and it was a pretty well documented event. Back to that AI 7 around.
All right, Jay. If it was documented, definitely those of you out there wondering can definitely check that out on the internet. There are probably some good images and what have you of that particular event. I'll have to look that up myself. All right, Jay. Appreciate you passing that along, getting me curious to find out more about that as well. So I do appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is John up in Ohio. W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
KI0AR Cabernet. Good evening on your ears. Listening on the Colorado Net. Hello, Rocket Man Head out there. Good report tonight. It was a very unfortunate explosion over there. And I'll say to Jay, go if you get online, check out the American Meteor Society and the International Meteor Organization. They keep websites that track those types of observations, and you'll see just how widespread the observation stream was for that event. It sounded like it was a pretty cool daytime meteor situation. I've only experienced one of those in the Charleston, South Carolina area, probably close to 20 years ago now, but that was amazing, and most people were just kind of confused as to what happened. These days, with more information, they put the connected dots faster. Okay, Bernice, I hope you don't mind. I'll be really quick with this. I was going to share tonight in space history kind of moment. This is kind of cool. 60 years ago today, and we've been focused on the moon a lot lately with Artemis, and people are remembering, what they can think back to with childhood and Apollo. But before Apollo, we had to get comfortable with sending people to the moon. And if you go back in history, 60 years ago, June 2nd, 1966, on this day, a small three-legged spacecraft named Survivor 1 gently settled onto the surface of the moon, landed in Oceanus Procellarum, aka the Great Lunar Plain, whose name means Ocean of Storms. With that landing, the United States achieved its first successful soft landing on another world. And that phrase, soft landing, sounds really simple, but in 1966, it was a pretty big deal. The spacecraft was launched from Earth, crossing roughly 250,000 miles through space, aiming for a moving target, firing retro rockets at just the right time, slowing itself down and sensing the lunar surface and touching down gently enough to keep working afterwards, so hence the soft landing. Surveyor 1 had launched only 3 days prior, on May 30th, from Cape Kennedy aboard the Atlas Centaur rocket, landed just over 63 hours later, only about 9 miles from its target. Pretty impressive, really. So for people that think we faked the lunar landings, we must have been working really hard years in advance, thinking ones that were manned. Kind of cool, puts it into perspective. And for radio enthusiasts, they were radioing back television images. So kind of neat, line by line, they were passing back the images that they were taking back to Earth, and then they were being notice we got a huge list. We are connected through the Kilo Yankee repeater here in Ohio that can explain some of the traffic. We get a lot of folks from Texas and Oklahoma and other places, but it's really been a great night hearing from all these new folks and great reports from you and Ed. Appreciate you guys. W2JLS passing it back.
All right, John. We caught most of that. For some reason, Wires X dropped out right at the tail end, and I switched it over to analog and caught the tail end of your transmission. Just to make sure you passing it back to me, but I definitely appreciate you sharing with Surveyor One back in June, like you said, June 2nd of 1966. So 60 years ago. Wow. So yeah, I was 9, but yeah, remember some of those later launches that I can remember, and it was interesting. I may have seen some of those images, the slow scan images on TV at the time, and really maybe not thought too much of it at the tender age of 9 years old. But John, I do appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Rip in West Virginia, K3XO. Good evening to you, Rip. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Daniel up in Minnesota, KF0MYU. Good evening to you, Daniel. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Just wanted to give one for the check-in there. This is Dan, Delta Alpha November, located in Nimrod, Minnesota. Just want to give one for the count. Keep up the great work. Back to net control. Kilowatt Fox 0, my JT uniform. Back to net.
Hey, Dan, appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. Definitely like those numbers for sure. And no worries. I like to, you know me. I think most of you have been on here for long enough. And those of you who are just meeting me for the first time, I'm going to call on you just to see what happens. Because I never know when someone might have a question. Because we cover some interesting topics on here, and I want to give everybody a shot to ask those questions or give those answers for that matter. If someone else has a question, and like Jay earlier, here up in Wyoming was asking about. The meteor that was streaking through the skies over New Jersey. Do we have a check-in from New York, so that would be interesting to find out if anybody happened to see that. So if something like that happens over your area, and we have a question from somewhere else, you'll be there to answer it, or vice versa if you're wondering what happened somewhere else. So definitely want to hear from everybody for sure, even if it is just for the count. So Daniel, or excuse me, Dan, I do appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Micah in Lynchburg, Virginia. Kind of old stomping grounds. NA4BL. Good evening to you, Michael. What have you got for the net tonight? Again, welcome to the net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, I do know it's I do know it's getting late, getting late out there on the East Coast. So for those of you who are on the East Coast, I do appreciate you guys sticking around, staying up late with us tonight. Next on the list is Nick in Ohio, KD8SLG. Good evening to you, Nick. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Bob in Ohio. KA8LYJ. Good evening to you, Bob. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, this is K88LYJ. I didn't really have anything for the net. Just wanted to get on the log and give you some numbers and let you know I've been enjoying the link up here in Ohio. Uh, I'm willing to sit here, listen, and learn. This is K88LYJ.
All right, Bob, appreciate that. And that's what we are here for, listening and learning. Me mostly listening to me, but and listening to Ed there with all the rockets. It's over the years, it's been fascinating how many rockets are getting launched every day, and we hear that when it was just very, very few and far between many, many years ago, many, many decades ago, and how far we've come in the last 60 years for sure. Definitely appreciate your comments, appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Ed, W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight?
Good evening, Furnace. Good evening to the net again. Yes, Furnace, thanks so much for running the net and letting me contribute. Very, very much appreciate that. I very much enjoyed the deep dive you did tonight on the Psyche mission. I just mentioned that briefly last week, and it definitely deserved a deep dive, and that was a very good article. Yeah, and a big thanks to W2JLS, John, there in Ohio for his So yeah, I mean, we just landed the lunar landing Apollo 11 just 3 years later in 1969. Exciting times, and for remembering that. W6RGZ, back to net.
All right, Ed, appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Thomas in Ohio, KA8MNT. Good evening to you, Thomas. Again, welcome to the net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. For those of you who are on YouTube listening in tonight, same question. If you got anything that you'd like to pass along to the net over on YouTube, just post it in the chat window and I'll pass it along. But definitely want to get your input as well, so appreciate that. Next on the list is Doug and Parker. K0ATP. Good evening to you, Doug. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Moy down in Texas. N5ZIQ. Good evening to you, Moy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is John up in Wisconsin, K9GRN. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is John down in Australia, VK3HJQ. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
I think that's very shaking. I'm nothing at all, just listening in and having some lunch. So what time is it? 12:51 p.m. over here, and pretty overcast sort of day. Thanks for the net, back to net control.
All right, John, appreciate you checking in. It's good to hear you again. And thank you for checking in from down under there. Do appreciate it. Let's see. Next on the list is, let's see, John over on YouTube, KJ7AGQ. If you've got anything for us, I got a whole bunch from YouTube, 4 in a row. Like I said, any of you guys have any questions or anything you want to pass along, uh, over there on YouTube. Just post it over there, and I'll pass it along. We got John, KJ7AGQ. Thanks for checking in up in Washington. We got Mike in Oklahoma, KO5AOK. Thanks for checking in. Charles in North Carolina, KQ4RBI. A new call on the list. So Charles, welcome to the net. Appreciate you checking in via YouTube there. And we got John up in Fort Collins, KF0TDK over on YouTube checking in. So appreciate you guys checking in tonight over there. And Patrick in Tennessee, KR4MLJ was our shortwave listener. So I'm not exactly sure whether you've got a transmitter or not, but welcome to the net. We'll just give you a call anyway. KR4MLJ. Good evening to you, Patrick. Welcome to the net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
KR4MLJ. Yeah, thank you. I'm a completely new hand, so I was messing with NetLogger, and I think I accidentally logged myself as a shortwave there. But I do definitely finally have a working radio, and hopefully you guys can hear me clearly. Something I wanted to share. Last week, I actually tuned in and asked you about visible planets and everything, and I just downloaded this app called Stellarium, and it shows constellations that should be visible in my area, uses like GPS and everything. It's very cool, and I'm looking outside my work window right now, and I'm looking at Venus and Jupiter and the top of one of the Gemini twins there. It's pretty cool. I never realized that those were actual planets outside the window. I thought those were just really bright stars. And, obviously very new. It's learning. It's fun learning stuff like that all the time and getting into this net. Great time to do that. I appreciate it. This is KR4MLJ.
All right, Patrick. Yeah, I just looked at my log. Yeah, you did check in new last week. I was wondering why it popped up as a new call. I'm going to have to check how many, what my search requirements are on my database here. I may have run over for new calls, but that should have been up there. Unless I forgot to add it to the list, so I do apologize. But Patrick, again, solid copy. Glad you got a radio. And yeah, no worries, no worries. I'm glad you checked in on NetLogger there and got that working. Yeah, it took a few tries to make sure I got NetLogger up and running when I first got started with this as well. So no worries there. I do appreciate. Yeah, I thought that call might have been a little familiar. So, but I do appreciate you checking in. Appreciate your comments there, Patrick. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Elizabeth over on, Mary over on YouTube, VE3AOA. Thanks for checking in. Any questions, your comments, you can post over there. Do appreciate it. So next on the list is Mike up in Alaska. KL7FR. Good evening to you, Mike. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hello, Bernard, and thanks for another stellar Colorado Astronomy Net. I enjoy listening because now we're at the midnight sun time of year where we have do have a question for Rocket Man, and I was wondering, is there like a season for rocket launches? Are there more launches in the summer due to better weather, or do they move near the equator or south of the equator? Is there a season for rocket launches? That's what I was wondering. And how many launches globally have been done so far this year? Maybe you could do that at the end of the month, halfway through the year. But always love coming to the Colorado Astronomy Net because you guys get me so spaced out. Thanks again. Hope everybody has a great week, and I'll be back for more. KL7FR back to net control.
All right, Mike. Yeah, I do appreciate it. Appreciate you checking in from Alaska. Yeah, the land of the midnight sun. For sure. And not getting getting dark way after your bedtime. um, or just staying bright all night. I guess you get that too, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, well, it varies by location. Like, I'm 350 miles south of Fairbanks, so they get much longer days in the summertime. Definitely stays 24 hours light up here. We get a little bit of night, but it's more like twilight zone. Doesn't really get dark. The sun goes down, especially when if it's real thick clouds, it'll get kind of dark. But not clear night skies for a couple more months till we get some good night sky viewing. KL7FR.
All right, Mike. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Let's see. Continuing on, we got Paul in Utah, WA7GVL. Good evening to you, Paul. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, the night skies have just been wonderful here the last few nights, and it's 9 o'clock and 72 degrees outside, so I'm taking advantage of the free air conditioning with all the windows open. But Jupiter and Venus have been just really bright and predominant in the sky, so I'm just enjoying it. I'm trying to find a telescope to replace the one that got damaged in the move, and it's an old Meade, so no parts for that anymore. Anyway, hope everyone has a great night. WA7GVL.
All right, Paul. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Hopefully, you'll find some parts for the old Meads. You never know. Search on who know what is it, eBay, or just general searches on the net. Maybe Amazon. Amazon. Who knows? They might have some spare parts lying around. You never know. But good luck with that. And hopefully you'll get the telescope working again. Next on the list is Roy up in Oregon, KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Bruce, and everybody on the net. And hey, even had the telescope out a few nights ago. We keep that sketchy, cloudy stuff going on, but sure was good to have the telescope out and get a little imaging during full moon and hydrogen alpha. Kind of cool. Back to you, catch up, Mikhail.
All right, Roy. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. A little plug for Roy. Check out check out his QRZ webpage, KI7PKL. He's got an image of his setup along with other astrophotography images as well. So you can check out his whole system that he's got, that he's imaging with and making these wonderful images that I'm stealing from him every now and then and publishing in the newsletter. But yeah, take a look at those images. Yeah, that's quite the setup you have there, Roy. And when I was looking for new pics, so you'll have to let me know when you get some more new pics published on there. Who knows? Maybe I'm still in the process of getting this month's set up, so maybe I will publish that particular that particular image and show people what you got for sure, if you don't mind.
Feel free to use all of your life. Thank you, my friend. Cash up your tail.
All right, Roy. Thanks for that. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Daniel at Highlands Ranch, KF0WXE. Good evening to Daniel. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, just on a side note, I was wondering what the noise was behind my back. You guys can't see it, but one of my cats loves paper towels. So if you are on YouTube and still watching, I'm going to move out of the way and show you guys what he did. So he made a mess, that white paper mess over there, and the rest of the messy basement here that I need to get cleaning up on. But oh well, that's what cats do. Destroy paper towel rolls, but he's having fun. I'll let him have that. Next on the list is Brian in Ohio, KC8YKP. Good evening to you, Brian. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Gordon up in New York, KE2GSM. Good evening to you, Gordon. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. What? Oh, no, Gordon, you've checked in before. That did pop up, but what have you got? What the heck? What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Dave out in California, KG6GIA. Good evening to you, Dave. Again, welcome to the net. I do appreciate you sharing your experiences earlier with us. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening again, Chris. So for those out there that do have computer access and want to listen to these upcoming meteor showers, located over near the Midwest is a radio setup using terrestrial element or reflected from ionized trails left by the meteors. The website is called livemeteor.com, livemeteor.com. And for those of you that do either amateur or professional radio astronomy, you can also hook it into your what's the word I'm looking for? Radio SkyPipe applications. And those that don't know what that is, you can look up Radio SkyPipe application. It will give you real-time data on your computer, and we can link all of our stations to the radio SkyPipe, and other people can listen to what you're listening to. It's pretty cool. But that's what I had to share, and I really appreciate you having me on this week, and I will try to get back as often as I can. Thank you so much, Brian. Back to you, KG6GIAJ.
All right, Dave, appreciate you sharing that with us. Definitely like to have experienced astronomers on here as well. I have posted in my newsletter also, where is it? Oh, it's right under the, okay, right under the meteors there. Terry Bullitt, W0ASP, has written a PDF, Meteor RX how-to manual, how to receive the meteor stuff as well. So that's also handy. There's a link. I'll post let me pull that link up just in case, and as soon as I get that do it, I'll post that in NetLogger and over on YouTube as well. But you can check out my newsletter for that link if you subscribe to it. If not, check it out on the internet as well. Scroll down to the meteor section. It's right down there. And I also have a few frequencies in this area, this particular, in the Denver area, that you may be able to pick up some meteor scatter pings in the 50 megahertz range, that general band. So you may be able to do that on some of the TV stations if they're still broadcasting as well. So Dave, appreciate you sharing livemeteors.com and radio SkyPipe applications as well. So thanks for that. And again, welcome to the net. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right, next on the list is Sony in the Philippines. DU1SH. Good evening to you, Sony. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Oh, darn it. I was hoping he would stick around. I like to hear the new DX stations checking into the net for sure. Let's see. Next on the list is Michael in Utah. K7 VWP. Good evening to you, Michael. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. That was over on YouTube. So, Mike, definitely appreciate you checking in over on YouTube. Apologies. Let's see. For those of you who are on YouTube and listening in, if you haven't tried Echolink, I know you got a computer because you're checking in via YouTube there. Well, I take that back. You may not. You may be watching this on your TV, because I know YouTube has TV connections as well, so you may be listening that way. But you may want to check out Echolink or Allstar, and if you do have your computers and checking in via that way, I have checked in to my own net when it's been running through Echolink and Allstar when I had those. When I have, well, actually, I have them both, but I've checked into my own net and other nets through my cell phone while on a nightly walk before. So it is definitely worth checking into. And since I do appreciate everybody's participation one way or another, but I definitely this is amateur radio, so I like to hear everybody's voices for sure. Eric, W2HAZ over on YouTube, thanks for checking in tonight. Next on the list is Ken, NV7SS over in Nevada. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Running a little long tonight, but hopefully everybody's stuck around. Trevor, next on the list, KF0WRX. Good evening to Trevor in Brush, Colorado. Go ahead. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. All right, we got Aviation Geek and Alex Hedry over on YouTube. Thanks for checking in, guys. Do appreciate it. If you've got any questions or comments, just post away. Do appreciate you checking in via YouTube tonight. A lot of YouTubers as well. Next on the list is Fred in Michigan, KF8FSQ. Good evening to you, Fred. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, good evening to you, Burris, and the rest of the net. Thank you so much for having the net tonight. Always great hearing your voice and hearing everybody else on the net who wants to throw their call sign out there and give their 2 cents on astronomy there. So yeah, that's great. I didn't hear any mention of MSK 144. That's Mike Sierra Kilo 144. It's a weak signal digital mode. I'm curious if you, Curtis, have tried it, or if anybody else would like to comment on it. I'm a little bit curious about the mode myself, but I don't have any kind of fancy beam antenna, so I'm not sure if I can actually use the mode. Back to you. This is KF8FSQ.
Fred, I've seen it listed in my what do I have? I've done FT8 and FT4 but I think the MSK 144 is listed somewhere there on what do I got? My brain just turns to jello. Um, uh, where is it? That's weird. Let's see, WSJT and JTDX. That's it, JTDX that I've been using. There it is. At least on the Mac, and WSJT. Also for FT8, I've seen it listed there, but I've never used it. So unfortunately, that doesn't help you, Fred. But at least I have seen it, but not used it. But maybe I'll have to take a look and see if I can actually use it. But there you go. But I'll have to drop you a note if I can figure out what it is and how it works. Because I've done some digital and I need to get back into it myself. So there you go. Fred, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight, and we'll look into that and see what happens. For some reason, I lost my video over on YouTube of me and my smiling face there. So I don't know exactly what's happened. I'll have to try reconnecting the camera, or I may need a new one. Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see there. Let's see. It's. Yep, I've lost it entirely. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But all right, we are at the bottom of the list and well past the top of the hour. Quick open up for any last minute questions, comments, or late check-ins. Please call KI0AR now. All right, this is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I think we lost the fireside connection. So those of you who are checking in via that can't hear me. So we may have lost some last minute comments there. But I do recommend, if you're still out there, connecting directly to skyhublink.com. The Skyhub link node directly to the net. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I'd like to thank the 34 check-ins for checking in tonight. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0100 Zulu Wednesdays. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeater systems. Also like to thank the Skyhub Link group for linking all of these systems together. Skyhublink.com for more information. Skyhublink.com to appreciate all the different ways and modes that we can connect and we can get those DX stations checking into the Colorado Astronomy Net. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.